Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco 2. Today we are here, finally here, the FA Cup first round, and we're away to Boreham Wood, who are only like 6-8 places above us in like total rankings. They're a league above us, but they're near the bottom of their league. Of course, we're second in our division right now, as you can see from the table here. We have got a superb chance, I think, of getting through to the FA Cup second round. We just have to take it. If we don't win it, we can then console our sorrows against South Shields in the league. But of course, we want to be winning the game, don't we? So hello, hope you're all doing well. Since you're last here, we've only played 2 games, and actually in those 2 games, we've been convincing but not convincing at all. So I'll tell you what I mean by that. Only 2 games we've played in between last episode. Basford United at home first. We drew 1-1 with them, but they're sitting in 21st in the league. Really, we should have walked all over them, but they were really good, actually. Either they were really good or we were really bad. It's a bit of a mixture of both, but we managed to pick up a point there at least, so at least we're still unbeaten. After that game, we played a ridiculous game against Solihull Moors. It was 4-5 on the scoreline. We won at 5-4, so we are still unbeaten completely this season. As you can see, at one point, we were 4-1 up. Joseph Hall got a brace, they had an own goal, and then Mark Mason scored in the 15th minute as well. We were 4-1 up within 36 minutes, and then they bring it back to 4-all before Matthew Agu scores a goal in the 91st minute to make sure we picked up all 3 points there. I mean, if we didn't pick up all 3 points there, I would have been so cross having gone from 4-1 up to then dropping 2 points to go to 4-all. But Matthew Agu saved the team a little bit there, I've got to say. So we picked up the 3 points there. As previously mentioned, we are still second in the table. We won 1 and drew 1, but Brackley won both of their games. They are now 4 points clear of us at the top of the table. But they've lost 2 games. We've not lost a single game yet. At the same time, though, we have drawn 7, which is 7 too many, really, if I'm honest with you. We need to be getting loads of wins. I'm still not worried, though. Still not worried. You know, we're averaging more than 2 points a game at the moment as well, which is really good. If we were averaging 2 points a game, we would have won 8 and drawn 8. So that's not too bad. So we're doing better than what, the 2 points a game average. But the only issue with that is so are Brackley, and actually so are Kidderminster as well. So I'm sure at some point all 3 of us are going to slip up. We've not lost the game yet, so surely that means we're going to slip up at some points. We're 10 points clear of 8th, though. 10 points clear of 8th. Like, I can't really... If we keep the momentum going that we've built up at the start of the season, the first quarter, first third of the season, really, we shouldn't be dropping out the playoffs at all. So we should have playoffs at a minimum by the end of the season. It's just if we can keep the momentum going to keep up with Brackley and then maybe surpass them towards the end of the season. Either way, today's episode, it's not really a focus on the league. Today's episode is a focus on the FA Cup. And as you can see, we're playing against Boreham Wood, who are in the league above us. They are 19th in the league above us, so there's not really that much of a difference. Their schedule as well, let's look at their reason. They've not won in their last 3, which is pretty good as well. I really do think we've got a great chance of beating them today. And this is the team that I think is going to be doing it for us. So, we've got Jed Andrews in goal with a backline of Dale, Walkley, Summerskill and Cook. Pretty decent, I've got to say. Pretty usual now. You should know pretty much every episode what the backline is going to be without, Sanderson sometimes swaps in for Summerskill, but that is the backline pretty much this season. We've got a midfield 4 of Turiak, Howell, Masters and Griffiths. Howell still finding his feet just a little bit, actually, I've got to say, coming back into the team. He's done well, but he's not quite got up to speed yet with how he used to be. And there's a case to argue that I've been really harsh by dropping Hall, not even to the bench. He scored 2 goals in my last game, but I think for this particular game, Hall's not really a playmaker or a box-to-box midfielder, whereas these 2 are. So I just think they're going to be slightly more suited to today's game style. Griffiths, of course, on the right-hand side. And we're going to be starting Agu and Mason up front together with Agu as the pressing... Yeah, we'll start Agu as the pressing forward, I think, just because both of them have played very well and trained. The top training reports the past 2 weeks have been Mason and Agu at the top. So they make a case for me to start them. So I suppose I've got to start them. Agu and Mason also scored last game as well. So they're in a bit of form at the moment. So let's see if they can continue it today against Boreham Wood. So kickoff is upon us, and today in many ways this is our cup final. Not many non-league teams can get to the FA Cup first round, especially from our division and of our stature as well. At the same time though, Boreham Wood are a very, very beatable side out there today, so maybe actually it's more of an FA Cup or a cup semi-final for us today. And the second round is going to be our cup final. First highlight of the game, though, looks like it might be going towards Boreham Wood, although their free kick forward wasn't brilliant, and Wakely can now just sort of deal with it at the back. Plays it out to Dale, back to Wakely, out to Turek, who's got so much space to just run. And all the players around him have a lot of space. He somehow absolutely messed that pass up, though, unfortunately. And Boreham Wood can come forward once again, although they've just lost possession there to Cook, and now Griffiths coming forward down the right-hand side with not as much space, but does manage to make the pass this time to Howell, who plays it into Agu, who can get the ball out wide to Griffiths once again. A nice move coming forward here. Griffiths puts the ball into Mason, who's unmarked in the area, and he puts it in at the back post to put Lincoln United 1-0 up away from home to Boreham Wood in the FA Cup first round. Mental. It's a good challenge for us as well, because it kind of shows how good we are as a team against the lower end teams of the National League. So if we do get promoted this season, maybe we can sort of start to make a guess of how good this team would be in that division, and if we need to make that many changes. I think if we went up this season, we'd have to bring in some more players, obviously, but I don't think the golfing quality is that different, as we nearly go 2-0 up there. Another great chance goes begging there. Corner though for Boreham Wood this time, and it's clear, but only as far as their number 7 on the edge of the area, who looks like he can put a decent shot in. Had the time and space to do it, puts it just wide. Though Jed Andrews had it covered all day. That's what we're going to say. Andrews had it covered all day. Now, unfortunately, Matthew Aggie looks like he's just picked up an injury with pulled wrist ligaments. I reckon, it's not really affecting his feet, so he can still kick a ball. And it's not affecting his head, because he can still head a ball there, and it nearly heads the ball there. It's affecting his hands, but he's not a goalkeeper, so I don't think we really have to take him off if we're honest with ourselves here. We'll monitor his progress and maybe take him off in the second half at some point, but Turiak's been put forward, his ball nearly getting it through to Mark Mason there, but we still keep possession action. The pressure is still coming forward as Howell puts out to Griffiths, and so much space. If we can grab a second before half-time, that would be amazing. Turiak hits the post. Can't believe that. Turiak hits the post. Mason's shot saved by the goalkeeper. And somehow Boreham would have kept the scoreline to only 1-0. Mason gives away a free kick then. And that's probably going to be that for this first half. But look at the stats. 11 shots to us, 4 to Boreham Wood. We are walking all over them. So at half-time, I don't think we're going to take Agu off, actually. I was thinking about it. But again, as I said, it's not affecting his feet. It's not affecting his head. And he's not in goal. So a sprained wrist or whatever he's got. Surely he should be fine. Now, as we've got 20 minutes left in today's game, and we're only 1-0 up, and of course things can change very quickly, so I will take Agu off for Turner now. Turner's actually better as a footballer and a pressing forward anyway, so we'll bring him on. He might just make a bit of a change towards the end of this game. And you know what? I don't really want to change too much. I think that's actually the only change that we'll make, because I'm cautious that if they bring on some speedy striker, our defence might not be able to keep up with him in their current state. However, changing things too much may upset the balance of things as Joe Howell gets on the end of a... Apparently, the assist was by Mark Mason there. The cross came in, or the free kick came in. Mark Mason must have headed it down towards Joe Howell, who picked up his second of the season. So fantastic stuff. He could be back now properly. He had a bit of a nasty injury and was out for a bit of a while, but I'm glad to see him back, to be fair. He was easily the best player last season for us, and actually this season, I think the team around him have allowed him to flourish a little bit, but he's gone from being a key player to more of a bit part, I think, because the whole team's improved massively. As Mason looking to make it 3, saved by the goalkeeper with 10 minutes to go. Let's hold on, boys. Well, I say that, we're not really holding on, are we? We've had 18 shots to their 7. But as long as we don't concede 2 goals, I will be over the moon. Mason picks the ball up once again, plays it out to Turner, who can put the ball back to Mark Mason, who's in behind the defence, to make it 3. He finally does. I think it took 2 or 3 shots there to do it, but he finally put it in the back of the net for his 13th of the season. We have absolutely trounced Boreham Wood today. We are still unbeaten in the league. And I've just noticed as well, we're playing away from home. I thought we were playing at home, but we're playing away from home. So the 78 away fans are coming from Lincoln. That's probably the biggest away following we've had in this entire series, which is another way that we're moving on leaps and bounds as a club. So I'm excited by that as well. This is a good day, a really good day. And we could make it 4 now. Mason for his hat-trick. Gets his hat-trick, his 14th of the season. Superb assist by Dale as well. We are going to the FA Cup second round. Potentially a 5th in this as well, as Mason gets his 4th. It's 5-0 against Boreham Wood. 4 from Mason. Turiak with another assist this season as well. I mean, I thought, honestly, I backed us completely to beat Boreham Wood. I knew they're in a bit of bad form. They're bottom of their table. We've been unbeaten. Well, not bottom of their table, near the bottom of their table. We're unbeaten all season still. We scored 5 in the last game, so we know we can score goals. We did concede 4 as well, but let's brush over that. But to score 5 against a team from a league above us is phenomenal. Away from home as well. That is what you call a performance. Well, I've just picked up an achievement as well. On a roll. What does that mean? On a roll achievement. Hasn't lost in 20 matches. Now that's a good stat for you. Also, that means obviously if I've just got that achievement, this is the first time in Football Manager 2019 that I've gone 20 matches unbeaten. Which actually, that's pretty rare anyway in itself. But, you know, that's the first time I've done it since the game came out in, October? So it's taken a while. Nice £20,000 for that as well. I don't think it's going to aid off. In fact, I think that's worse than what I showed you last time. It's still minus 130. I think it was about 130. It's now 132,000. So it does go to show we are having a bit of an issue with finances at the moment. But £20,000 will help. Agu's out for 1 to 3 days. Won't affect things too much. And Mason with 4 goals and 1 assist and a 9.8 rating. You were superb, lad. Keep it up. Here is the draw, though. Teams as varied as Cardiff, Charlton, Lincoln United and Telford go into the draw. So I don't think Championship clubs enter it right now. Let's just keep drawing a few clubs. Now, we want to be away somewhere. I really want to be away somewhere big. Or again, we could have another case of, you know, obviously we can't get Hereford now, but drawing away to Hereford or Bath or Scunthorpe, something like that would have been really good for us as well. Let's keep things going. There was Charlton, that was a big one. Still plenty of clubs coming through, and we're not there yet. Oh, we are. Kidderminster or Luton. Oh, Kidderminster or Luton is again not a bad. And Kidderminster 8. I mean, okay, we're talking League 2 here. They should still absolutely walk all over us if they're 18th in League 2. Let's getting a bit excited about that. But Kidderminster, if Kidderminster can hold them to a draw, Luton, maybe that means we can as well. I don't know. Kidderminster are a team that I reckon we can beat. And they drew 3-3 with Luton, which is interesting. I'm not really interested in playing Kidderminster away from home because again, 6,400. That's not a big attendance. Luton though, how big's theirs? Only 10. It's 10,000. But if they packed it out 10,000 completely, you know, we'd still get a nice bit of money from that. I think they play their game after that South Shields game though, so you'll find out next episode who we're going to be playing in the second round. You'll notice as well, 2 players currently on international duty. That's Wallace and Turiak. I don't know if they actually ever play in the under-21 squads internationally, but they always seem to get called up. So, I mean, we can double check it to be fair. Turiak has got, let's click on him. He's got 16 and 21 appearances to be fair actually. That's not bad. He's on the bench right now for Romania. Wallace on the other hand, we're not too fussed about him because he's not really our player. But actually, he's starting, to be fair. 20 caps and 2 goals. Fair play. They're doing quite well for themselves, aren't they? I think what we're going to do, actually, is go for an unchanged lineup. Although, we've got to bring Keller on for Turiak, obviously, and Wallace actually is sub 7 out of 5. So these two just fine like that. I think we go for that then. No change to the lineup. It worked last game, so let's do it again. Right then, once again, kickoff is upon us. We need to pick up a win today. South Shields actually sits 6th in the table, so they're doing all right this season, to be fair. But we need to be keeping up the pace with Brackley. So we've already seen 4 goals from Mark Mason this episode in one game. Place your bets now. How many goals is he going to get in this game? The winner gets, I don't know, a nice warm feeling inside of them for getting it right. I'm going to predict another 2 goals. I reckon he can get 2 today. I'd like him to get more, but I don't want to be too greedy with him. We do not have a chance right now because it's Buxton South Shields on. I don't know where I got Buxton from there. We've got South Shields on the ball, and they are coming forward with it now as Stobbs looks to try and come forward. It's Buxton on the ball. That's where I got Buxton from. He's their number 2. O'Reilly plays it into Rangel, and really we're not offering much in terms of trying to close them down or anything like that. And Rangel gets round their men. Morrison now on the ball. He's put it in the back of the net. That's what he's done. We've got a chance right away there to try and make amends with Howell now on the ball on the edge of the area. Puts it out towards Keller, who's coming on for Turiak. Puts it into Mason, who just puts it wide of the post. Really thought he would have buried a chance like that, but didn't. Game's actually looking kind of cagey out there at the moment. Only 5 shots in total this game. So clearly both teams really trying to go for it and being maybe a bit cautious out there. As we start to approach half-time though, not a highlight for us yet, unfortunately. We'll say push forward just before half-time. We'll move up to a bit more positive stance. I know this is quite a counter-attacking formation, but I think we do need to try and go on the front foot a little bit in the second half. We are, though, only 45 minutes away from our first defeat of the season if things don't change. Now, I don't want that to change. I want us to go and be an invincible team this season. But right now, we're not really creating anything out there. So, Do we bring Turner on, and we push Keller up there a little bit more? I think into that more attacking space. In fact, we don't do this. I think we switch to the winger formation, but we just play with 2 strikers instead up there. So Turner and Mason will be our front line there. As we'll bring these 2 round to be advanced forward and pressing forward. Also, it means Scott Pollock is going to come back on the pitch for the first time in a little while in that centre midfield, and Douglas Hurst is going to come on for Griffiths as well. And we're also going to go on to attacking. We need to grab a win out there, and clearly playing the way we're playing right now, as I thought we were about to score a goal there in this highlight just after our press confirm. What was I even saying? We need to score a goal, something like that maybe. I'm quite sure I forget things that quickly. That was impressive, to be fair, but we are coming forward once again. Wakely into Pollock, into Mason. Mason into Turner. We're doing things nicely now. Howell passed his man out to Cook, who can put the cross into the empty area, or the busy area, or not the empty area. It's not, the cross hasn't been put in, actually, to be fair. I mean, it's still not been put in. Douglas Hurst back to Howell. Pollock on the edge of the area, puts it over the bar. Honestly, I felt a goal coming at the end of that, but nothing. We're going to say push forward again. We've got half an hour now, boys. Half an hour. I won't lie, we have had some close calls this season to losing a few games and things like that. But we've always managed not to. I'll take a draw right now against South Shields, but we've had 12 shots now. We've been very good in this second half, but maybe just not clinical enough. Get creative out there. 15 minutes now, and that 15 minutes quickly turns to 10 minutes to go. What do? We go very attacking. Let's not mess around with that. I never know quite what I'm doing with that kind of stuff. How do I get rid of that? Just cancel, please. And we can't do any of that still. 10 minutes to go. We need something. And here's the chance maybe. Keller puts the corner in. No one's attacking it at all. Wakely, though, hits the crossbar. Mason puts it in the back of the net to pick up a goal. I thought that was going to be the end of the highlight there when we hit the crossbar, but Mason was there waiting for the rebound. Let's push forward and go for a winner. Come on. We've got 5 minutes to grab a winner, which I think we deserve. First half, we didn't deserve it at all. This second half, we have been superb, I've got to say, with the amount of chances and shots we're having. Looking at the clock, we're not going to be doing it, I don't think. Although, Keller with the free kick, collected by the goalkeeper. I thought Summerskill was about to head home there. I think that then is probably going to be the closing highlight of the game, although Cook's now got a chance to launch one last counter-attack up to Turner, which doesn't quite work out. He doesn't win the ball back either, and South Shield now actually run the... well, they don't, because they play it to Dale, and with 10 seconds on the clock, this surely is just going to be the ending highlight of the game as Keller puts it into Pollock. Unless we launch a ball forward now, we don't. It's finished 1-1, but considering it for a long time, it looked like we were going to lose our first game of the season there. I'm happy because we are still unbeaten. So we are still unbeaten, but it does mean we drop down to third behind Kidderminster now, and we're still 4 points off Brackley, but 2 points off Kidderminster. As long as we still stay up there, though, I'm still remaining adamant that we'll be fine, as long as we just keep picking up on average 2 points a game. So it doesn't actually tell me here when the FA Cup second round is yet. If we, it might tell us on here, second round. It doesn't. When a tie is going to be played, rules. Let's look at the second round. Monday the 13th of... No, that's a draw date. The 2nd of the 12th. So pretty soon, actually, the 2nd of the 12th. That's here, when we're meant to be playing an FA Trophy game. So actually, next episode is not going to be too far away in the future, because we'll play Kings Lynn, and then probably the FA Cup game. So probably it will end up being FA Cup and Darlington, but it could be FA Cup and FA Trophy. Or it could be Kings Lynn. Might be Kings Lynn. We'll see what happens anyway. I'll see you next time for the FA Cup. So thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have done, make sure you do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And I'll see you next time for some more Lincoln Loco action.